Hey everyone, welcome back. In this tutorial, I'll go over the basics of how HMs work in Pokemon Emerald and then show you how to change them in two different ways. First, we'll recreate a system like the Pokétch from BDSP where HMs work without needing to be taught. Then, I'll show you how to tie an HM to a custom key item, like my version of the Poké Pager for Fly. Let's dive right in. The first place we want to start is we're just going to look at a cut tree. Here in my Lake Doblo route, we can see we have a cut tree here, and the script that it calls when you talk to the cut tree is called event script cut tree. So if we go into the Poké Emerald expansion folder, where event script cut tree is, it's in data scripts field move scripts.inc. This is the big place where most of your HMs will live. You can see you have the cut tree right there. If you get down more, there's the rock smash, different follower stuff with the following Pokemon that you can see. All the jumping, you have Rock Smash, there's Strength Boulder, that is there as well. So that's most of the stuff you want. You can use Waterfall here. You can kind of see there's Dive, kind of most of them. You got a Can't Surface, Can Surface, Dig happens here as well. Just a bunch of stuff like that there. But we're going to go back to the top. We knew it was Event Script Cut Tree. And we can actually look back here, yep, Event Script Cut Tree. So first thing it's going to do, it's going to lock the player. Pretty basic in all the scripts. Then go to if unset. So this is saying if we don't have the first badge, that's a requirement for using cut in Poké Emerald. You could remove this if you don't want. But if we don't have the badge for cut, we go to this event script check tree can't cut. We find that here it just says, hey, display the message, you can't cut, release. That's it. You just can't cut it. In the base stuff, if it goes, then okay, you go past that part if you have the first badge. Then it checks the party move. Does anyone in your party have the move cut? If it does, you go, or if no one doesn't, if equals the party size kind of max out because it's 0 index, so if it's greater than your party size, that means no one has it. Then the event script, you go to the can't cut again. If not, you set a field argument as 0. That's just for moving stuff around, and then you buffer Partymon nickname into the string variable 1. So that means we're putting the Partymon nickname into the string variable 1 with the result of the Pokemon that had the move cut. Then we buffer the move name, the move's cut, into string variable 2, and then we say, do you want to cut, yes or no? If no, it's canceled. If yes, you use text mon used field move, which you can go here. It is just, hey, string variable 1, so the Pokemon nickname, used string variable 2, the field move you want, so cut in this case. That's kind of how that works. There's the common. This is more if you're using it within the party menu's down here, but it just cuts to the cut tree common. Here you go, is the follower, the field move. If it does, then it uses that as the person who uses it. If not, it sets this argument 3, so that skips the follower using pose. And then it does this field effect cut. That's what uses, it's the field effect used cut on tree. For me, what I wanted to do is to have it work, so kind of like the Pokétch where it would say, oh, like a wild Bieberl helped out and used cut. So like you didn't necessarily have to teach cut. I'll still give the HMs in my game if you want. But I don't want to have to give the HMs. You can still use it if you want. It's whatever. But I switched things up. So I'm in my data scripts, field move scripts. And we can kind of compare here. I still have the lock all. I still wanted you to have the first badge. You don't get cut till after. But since you don't have to actually use the one, this is even more pertinent of, hey, I only want to use it if you have the first badge. So that's still the same. I still go to can't cut. But then instead of all these other ones, like check the party move, all of that, buffer the name, I'm just going here and I'm saying buffer string. So my string variable 1, instead of checking for the Pokemon, getting the Pokemon's name, I'm just doing in this GTEX wild Bieberl helped. So that's in actually the strings constants, or the source strings, kind of where all these, I just added my own at the end. It says GTEX wild Bieberl helped. And it just says, a wild Bieberl helped out, and then we buffer it. Still the move cut. It does all the same things. So then here it'll go, a wild Bibarel helped up and used moved cut. So it's pretty simple like that. That's really all you needed for getting it to do it. You might still have something weird with the effect. So in this source field effect C, this is how it kind of in Pokemon Emerald, where it shows like the Pokemon that's using the thing and kind of that black and white outcome thing where it shows which Pokemon's using the move. Typically, I just commented these out, but it'll look at and say, okay, this is the Pokemon that we're using it. It's getting that. Is it shiny? Is it all of that? And that's getting how it puts the sprite of the Pokemon you're using. For me, I just want Bibarel to always be the one that helps out. This does get a little buggy when I do my Poké Pager for Fly later. It's kind of what it is, but so I knew this was the Mon. Yeah, the Mon is species Bibarel. I want to do non-shiny. If you want to do shiny, you can do one and a default personality. That'll do some other stuff, but then it'll show the field move. So when we go into my Poké Emerald game, we can actually see kind of how this works out. I'm just in fast forward mode, but I'm in a new city and there's a cut tree down here. So I will slow it up now. Tree looks like it can be cut down. Would you like to cut it? Yes, normal. And look, a wild Bibarel helped out and used cut, and then it shows Bibarel on that cut screen, and it just shows the cut. I also did this, implemented the same type of thing for Rock Smash. So you can go here. The rock appears to be breakable. Would you like to use Rock Smash? Yeah, look, it helped out and used Rock Smash. Boom, same thing. That's pretty much all you need to know for that. This will get a little messy. I kind of made it simple. Just a disclaimer. I don't know everything about this. I'm still working at getting this, but this at least gives you kind of the base functionality where the Pokemon doesn't have to learn it. You can change up which species you want. Maybe you want it to be a Ditto, and hey, look, a Ditto can transform to anything and do whatever move you want it to do. Just an option for your game. But this is just an easy, simple way to just kind of change things up, make it so you don't have to learn the move. Because you can see in my Rock Smash one here, I did kind of the same type of thing. I want the third badge, and then, hey, look, it helped, but it used Rock Smash instead of cut. Did all the same things. That's pretty much all you need to know for the Pokétch-Style one. You can just change up all these in this data scripts, field move scripts.inc file, and you'll actually be able to use the moves without. In the overworld, the only other thing is you wouldn't be able to cut the grass kind of like in the overworld just by itself. I didn't implement an item for that. You can implement an item for that later if you want. That would be the part right here, like event script, use cut, use from the party menu. You can figure out a way to do that if you want to attach it to an item or something like that. But I didn't really care for that. I don't care about cutting the grass. If you really want to cut the grass in my version, you can teach a Pokemon cut, and it'll cut it from the grass. It will bug out and still say the Bibarel helped, but I don't really foresee people really caring about doing that, so I don't really care too much. The next thing we want to do is kind of go over how, say we want to make a key item to do whatever we want to do. So for mine, I did like a Poké Pager for Fly, kind of reminiscent to Sun and Moon, where you could like call on the other Pokemon to help you out to do specific HM tasks. The first thing we're going to do is create an item. So in include constants items.h, you're going to want to create your item at the bottom. This is the last one's a Pokétch-Style, whatever, kind of with just some of the Legends Arceus items. But right now it'll stop at 828 would be the Strange Ball. So I just added the Pokétch Ball under here, made it 828, changed this to 829, and then the item count is going to be whatever the Strange Ball is. Because at the top, there's all the items here that you want, but you can go all the way up to the top here. Item none is 0, and then the first item starts at 1. You can see this is all the Pokeballs. This is where you can look at, I guess, all the items that are in the game, see what's there in this items constant one. But I will get back down to this bottom part right here, and those are my items. Items count is 828. Next place you're going to want to go to is this source data items.h. This one kind of tells you what all the items do. So if I look up TM Focus Punch, this is kind of where we've We've added some before. Let's see, what did I add? I added Metal Claw at the end here. I added Mud Slap, so that's where it's like, oh, there's TM51. You do the price, descriptions, all of that. That's kind of cool. I don't really care about that right now. I want to go all the way down to the bottom, and I'm going to make a new one. And it's going to follow the same naming as we did in this. Include constants items.h. The item Poké Pager is what I'm making. So that's my new item. The name, I'm going to do it. It's a Pokemon Pager. The price is 0. I'm going to set this so you can't sell it. But we'll also go to the key items pocket later. We'll fix that. The description. My description of here is just calls wild Pokemon to assist using the HM02 fly. That's all I really care for my Poké Pager. That's what I want it to do. Importance is 1. That means we don't really be able to sell. Doesn't want it to go away after use. That kind of gets fixed by the key items as well. The type is going to be an item used in field. So I kind of copied from some other stuff. But if we look at the use in field one, so we can see escape rope is a use in field. And then it has a field use function. Honey you can use in the field. It has item use honey out of battle for the field use func. The bicycle, you can do all that. But I'm going to go all the way back down to the bottom of mine again, to my Poké Pager. Maybe I should just copy that. But that's there. My field use function is going to be item use out of battle bird. This is something I created by myself, kind of the new thing. But here it is, the icon pick. This is what it's going to look like in the bag. I just said make it look like the fame checker and give the icon palette like the fame checker. I just kind of reused it. I don't care too much what it looks at this point. That's kind of how I imagined it, is what the fame checker looks like. Kind of similar to how it looks like in the Alola games. But I want to look at this item use out of battle bird function. So these, the field use function ones, are going to be in source item use.c. And then that's what it's going to be. I created mine at the end. If we remember here, there was, I think, a honey. Yeah, there's item use honey. So you can see, kind of did all this stuff. A lot of CB and all of that. But I want the bird function is what mine is in. And I copied this a lot from the fly menu that it works. But it's, if the overworld map allows fly and teleport, that's good. Then we can use it. If not, just says the dad, hey, we can't fly from here. This one I was just saved, but here's if we're using this as a registered key item, or if we're not using it as a registered key item, we're in the bag menu, and we're going to open the fly map, and it's going to go to that. If not, it's going to set this callback if you are in a registered item. And then it's going to do this CB2 open fly map. That's what allows you to fly. Kind of the big thing here. That's kind of the way you need to go. I copied a lot of code from the fly stuff over and kind of looked. This could be something you just kind of got to look. So if you look at this CB2 open fly map, where it really was, it's in region map, and this is what it does. This is from here in this big function. This is field moves kind of from the party menu. So using water, waterfall, milk drink, soft boiled. If you use teleport, it kind of goes through the steps. I just copied from this. It said, hey, if we used the field move fly, we did this. So then I basically said, hey, that's the same thing. That's what I'm going to do. Cool. That's how I found it. Kind of just copying stuff over. It's kind of how it is. But now we can go and kind of take a look at how we did this, or how it looks like in the game. Ooh, that is way too fast forward, but it helped us get through that sludge. I haven't figured out a way, or it's not to the point of where I want to get it yet. Here's the Pokétch-Style again. So I just made it as this little Pokeball. And hey, look, we found a Pokemon Pager. I'm going to go into my bag. It should be in my key items. And look, there's my Poké Pager. That's the fame checker icon. It looks very similar to the Poké Ride app in the Alola games. It calls wild Pokemon to assist in using HM02 Fly. And I'm going to use the Poké Pager. And look, it pops up the fly map. You can see these are the towns I've been to so far. So let's go back to our starting town. It shows the Bibarel for me just because that's still popped up in that field effects thing. In this field move, or no, not in the field effects, source field effect, it's Bibarel. I might want to change that to a Ditto or something later. But boom, we flew to this town. If we go into to register it, it just takes you right to the map. And let's fly to the second city. I can do that. It's going to go up to here. Let's fly to this fun city with our little EV castle. But that's kind of how it works. I can look back in. It works good. If I actually go back to my starting town again, I do have a cut tree, so we can see we have the kind of the key item use of it already, and then we have the Pokétch use of it right here, just kind of using the overworld. And that's kind of how you would implement, just two different ways to implement HM moves, kind of however you want. As you can see, I don't have anybody with fly or cut in my party doing all this. The Vibrava does have dig, so that is there, but in my game you get an escape rope that works like dig, and it's a key item in this, so it's reusable all the time, so dig's not huge. But yeah, I guess I'll go through the last couple and you don't have it. But that's just kind of a little start of how you would kind of work through. But yeah, we can fly anywhere. We can fly to my little airport city. Kind of over here, check that out. But yeah, that's basically it for changing up the different HMs to work as the Pokétch or like a key item, stuff like that. If you guys have any more questions on this, drop a comment and I can try to answer with the best of the ability I can. I'm still a little newer to this, just kind of figured this out myself, making it work functionally in my game. But yeah, if you guys have any other questions or videos you'd like to make as well, drop that in the comment below. This was actually a viewer recommendation as well, so I'll try to make whatever I can as long as I know how to do it. But yeah, otherwise, drop a like on the video if you thought that was helpful. Subscribe for more kind of tutorials like this, or check out some of the other random stuff on my page. And I hope you guys have a nice day.